Hello and welcome to Alternate Image Raid. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we're going to talk about this Razelvarg fusion summoning event that's going on. If it is worthwhile to go after this, what it's going to take to get it, and some other considerations here. Now, if you've watched a few videos on this channel about previous fusions, you're going to see a lot of points reiterated about how it's really more about your account than it is about the champion. But we will still go over the champion, check them out, and I'll do a couple of polls fragment-wise because I might as well. I have to do them, and it keeps something for the video. So let's check out the champion first. Triple hit A1 is always solid. It just has a chance of proccing additional things. It has a chance of getting value in more places. This being AoE A1, of course, is always stronger, but if it's going to be single target, triple hit is great. Each hit fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. Extra turn meter, goes fast, excellent. Our A2, we attack all enemies. We have a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Solid. And then heals his champion for 10% of their max HP for each leech debuff placed, up to 40% of their HP. In theory, damage based on attack and speed, which I actually didn't notice it over here. Attack and speed. The speed factor is part of the damage. I'm sure this information is already available out there. Depending on the scaling of this, of course, will affect how amazing this is. But I look at this more as a support champion than a damaging champion. If the buffs happen to be really nice for these, then it could be both, but support is probably going to be the core function. Because of this A3, attacks on enemies, places a 30% speed buff and a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns for attacking. Accuracy, speed, it's just great. It's going to help us rush through the content. This is going to be probably used in a lot of different ways in which you might speed tune certain things, buff extension to get this going. It's pretty nice. Although what it will make the speed tuning kind of things a little bit difficult is our passive. Each increased speed buff placed by this champion increases this champion's speed by 5. So for longer battles, this champion is just going to zoom. Even early on, just one round of that, in theory, should be 4 speed buffs, an extra 20 speed, on top of a 20% speed in all battles. Really solid. Definitely not a champion that's just going to show up, though, and make your account do something it isn't already doing in a significant way, I don't think. It's not going to just make you get Clan Boss down or make you get Hydra down. But I think what it'll do is make runs more efficient and give your roster some diversity. So in that regard, for me, this champion is good. But this isn't a must-have champion. This isn't somebody that's going to make your account, again, significantly more improved than it was previously, particularly given that this is a fusion type as opposed to a fragment where you just collect little fragments and go along. You're going to have to get each of these rares, fuse them into each of these epics, and then you have to level them up to 40, you have to ascend them, you have to level these to 50 and ascend them all the way. There's a lot of extra resources that go into making these champs. And let's check out the epic just in case it happens to be good. We have a slight heal and a slight poison on a double hit A1. Not bad. We have decrease attack with an AoE A2. Okay, 15% heal, debuff on all allies. Place the shield equal to this champion's max HP. We are HP based damage in these other attacks, so stacking HP is pretty nice. 30% chance of counterattacking when ally lizardmen accept this champion attack. That's too specific to care about, honestly. This passive doesn't exist. And then HP. Okay, so this is a lizard faction crypt champ. This is a pretty good support champ exclusively for the faction crypts for lizardmen. If you're struggling there and don't feel like spending the resource all the way, maybe just go after this. Otherwise, the epic isn't bringing any particular value to us. So we will be looking at primarily here this legendary. So one of the things to consider with that is what goes into one of these fusions. As I mentioned here, to get it, you'll need 4 of the Delahas. Each Delaha can be fused from 4 of the Margraves. The 4 rares go into the epics and so forth. It's a lot, and you can't miss anything. You have to complete each of these events up to the point, or you're not going to get enough to get the legendary here. The one you should be able to skip is not the full summon rush that's going on right now, which I'm going to be pulling for, but you won't have to get all the way to the epic in this summon rush. I will show you that because it's also going to be what I'm pulling for. You shouldn't need to go here and get this, but you will have to go here and get this one. Of course, this is not during a 2x, so the otherwise pulling here is not worthwhile. And this is the one place that I feel like resources actually get used when you're looking at a fusion event like this, is you have to pull shards you wouldn't otherwise be pulling unless you really, really wanted to gamble on the 10x for some of these champions. And there's some great champions in this 10x, but 10x isn't the best place to pull unless you are very, very endgame and have almost everything in the game and don't need better odds of just getting a legendary. You just need specific ones. In that case, sure. And I do want this. I do want this. I do want this. I don't have these two, so I think that would be fine as well if I happen to pull them from my Ancients or Sacreds. I'm probably not pulling any Voids this time. I want to keep my Voids for the next guaranteed. I keep kind of missing the Void legendaries because I have enough, but I pull just enough that I don't quite have enough at the time. So we'll be pulling Sacreds, we'll be pulling Ancients today in this video, and I will be finishing off whatever else I need with Mystery Shards because I'm able to double dip right now, especially pulling these Mystery Shards and feeding them because of this champion training tournament that's going on. I actually just got enough here right before I started this video to get this part of the champion to go in. So I'll be able to take some more of that food and get some more, probably help me get my way towards this Ancient Shard by pulling greens and feeding them into other champs in order to get those points and to make the space in order to pull more greens. So let's pull a couple. I think I'm going to pull 2 Sacreds and then some Ancients. I might go 3 Sacreds. We'll see in just moments. These videos really are recorded as I do them. It's not something that is pre-planned and voiced over and I don't actually know. I already know what I got and what I'm getting. That's not how the majority of my content works. We got this guy. He's not amazing. I have him. I think I've got him in the last video that I showed. We have a Scabrius. Again, not amazing. And now the question is, do I want to go one more Sacred, or do I want to hit up 2 or 3 10 pulls of Ancients for the same points? So consider the way the points values worked for Summon Rush. We're getting 20 points per Ancient, but 500 points per Sacred. So I need 25 Ancients to equal 1 Sacred pull. And that's about how many more points I want to get, with the exception of the greens that I'll be pulling in order to go after this. So for you, again, is this worth it to make these pulls? If this was your last 3 Sacreds and you don't need this champion, maybe not. However, and I'll say this repeatedly, guaranteed rewards in this game are few and far between. Getting a guaranteed legendary at the cost of a chance of legendaries in the form of holding this for a 2x event is pretty valuable. So we're going to risk it. We're going to pull some more. We got a new epic for myself. We have a Vogoth, which is a great champion. I have many. And then some food. Of course, I am in the middle of a champion training event, so that food still has some value for these champions. We have 2 more food epics here. Looks like none of the ones from the event that we need. So that is a little bit less exciting. And then I need some, actually I have just enough. We're going to do 1 more pull here. This will be a little bit more than a Sacred worth, but it'll put us really in range to go after the rest of this event. I'm not sure if I have this guy already. Provoke, attacks enemies, heal reduction, a shield, and a strengthen, immune to some fears, make some buffs fear related, faction crypt. Probably a good, nice Revenant faction guy. I don't necessarily need him for any particular purpose, but not too shabby all the same. I'm not unhappy with those pulls. The number of epics I got during a non-2x is pretty solid. We'll see now. I just need about 300 more points. I will get those off screen in the form of my mystery shards. To finally reiterate if this fusion is worth going after, I think it's an interesting champion. I think there will be some creative uses that the community will find to maximize the value out of this champion. So it's going to end up being better than it seems. However, if getting this champion would cause you to spend money that you wouldn't normally be spending, to really tax out your resources and cause some sort of problem for you or your account, your time, I think it is okay to skip. Outside of that scenario, though, if you're already going to play a lot, if you're already going to be doing these, most of these events, if you have the resources to spare, then I think it's worth to go after this champion because it is a guaranteed legendary, and guaranteed legendaries are just hard to come by. Additionally, it is Skinwalkers. That is a relatively hard faction. If you still need a Skinwalkers faction, this will probably help a lot towards getting through that. So what do you think? Are you going after this? Have you already gone after this? Is it too late? Do you wish I made this video earlier? I do, but here we are, and that is what we're dealing with. So this has been an alternate image raid video for Raid Shadow Legends. If you liked the video, please like, comment if you have something to say about it. And if you dislike this video, then smash that dislike button, as it's still engagement for the channel. And as always, have a great day.